They really want to know from this minute, when is load shedding going to end?
Yes.
And when I left my house, my son was telling me that, Daddy, when is load shedding going to end? No, I'm not having a switch on off. So the point I'm making is that we are going to be honest to the South African people. It's important and transparent about our ability to address this. I did say when I started earlier on, I am more than confident that we'll be able to resolve load shedding, and we'll come back to you with those timelines.
March 2024, a turning point on the horizon. In just 9 months, the dreaded era of load shedding that has plunged us for years might finally draw to a close. But before we embark on this journey together into the promising future, let's take a step back and uncover the roots of load shedding. Join us as we go into the past, unraveling the story of how load shedding came to be and exploring the challenges that have tested our patience. Get ready to understand the difficulties, the frustrations, and the hopes that lie ahead. Once upon a time, in the early 28th century, there lived a remarkable man named Hendrik Johannes van der Burg. He was a man of great scientific accomplishments, but his greatest legacy would be the creation of the groundbreaking institution known as Eskom. It all began in year 1923 when the organization was first established as Eskom, an acronym for Electrical Supply Commission. Hendrik was appointed as the founding chairman, a role he held until his passing in 1948. Eskom's primary objective was to provide electricity to the rapid developing industries, mines, and railways of South Africa. Under Hendrik's leadership, Eskom quickly became a commercial success. Its power supply spread throughout the country, bringing affordable electricity to fuel the growth of various industries. The first power station constructed were the coal-fired Kongola Power Station in Durban and the Salt River Power Station in Cape Town, both completed in mid-1928. However, the crown jewel of Eskom's power plants was the Witbank Station. Finished in 1935, this coal-fired giant boasted an impressive capacity of 128 megawatts, specifically designed to meet the demands of the flourishing mining industries. As South Africa's economy continued to grow between 1960 and 1990, so did the need for more power. Eskom embarked on an ambitious expansion plan during this period, constructing 14 new power stations with a staggering combined capacity of 35,804 megawatts. However, in the wake of the democratic elections of 1994, Eskom faced a new challenge. The focus shifted from solely serving industries to providing affordable electricity to previously neglected residential areas. Sadly, during the 1990s, when Thabo Mbeki held the presidency, Eskom's requests for funding to build new power stations were denied. It was a decision that would have serious consequences in the years to come.
Eskom is a big engineering institution, but also it's a big business. And it's therefore, in terms of its leadership,
Politicians.
you need engineers and economists.
Not politicians.
But instead, what do we have as its leadership?
Politicians and accountants.
Instead, we have politicians and accountants. I'm not saying that what he was right, but it's what he said.
However, the road ahead for Eskom was without its fair share of obstacles and challenges. The first major blow came in 1981 when the company faced one of its earliest scandals when it was discovered that the assistant chief accountant had embezzled a staggering 8 million rand. This incident shook the organization to its core, leaving a stain on its reputation and setting a stage for a series of challenges that would plunge it in the years to come. The first hurdle was the escalating demand for electricity. As South Africa's economy continued to grow, Eskom found itself struggling to keep pace with the increasing energy requirements. To address this pressing issue, Eskom embarked on a plan to construct new power plants. However, this ambitious project encountered numerous setbacks, casting a shadow of doubt on the company's ability to deliver. Mismanagement, corruption, labor disputes, and technical difficulties all contributed to frustrating delays in the construction of these vital facilities. Compounding the challenges was the poor maintenance of Eskom's existing power plant. Neglected over time, these facilities suffered from a lack of regular upkeep and upgrades. As a result, their efficiency and reliability diminished. One of Eskom's weaknesses was its heavy reliance on coal, as the price of coal experienced an increase over the years. The financial mismanagement of Eskom also took its toll. Over the years, the company accumulated substantial debts due to poor financial decisions, including poor tariff adjustments, high operational costs, and expensive coal contracts. Corruption and the influence of state capture added another layer to Eskom's woes. Private investments influenced the decision-making process, manipulating it for personal gain. Inflated costs on services and materials became commonplace, with Eskom paying unreasonably high prices for goods and services. Corruption extended beyond financial matters, with reports of stolen coal and diesel, intentional plant damage to secure maintenance contracts, and the procurement of incorrect or substandard spare parts and equipment. The consequences of corruption and mismanagement were far-reaching. Contracts faced significant delays due to corrupt practices, while service providers delivered sloppy work. The lack of planning from the government and Eskom's inability to complete major projects like Medupi and Kusile as initially intended had severe repercussions for the country. Despite these challenges, Eskom persevered. As the challenges continued to mount, a new phenomenon emerged that would further test the resilience of South Africa and its people: load shedding. The act to interrupt the supply of electricity to prevent a total grid collapse. But this brought with it a host of frustrations and hardships for citizens. Load shedding made its first unwelcome debut in 2007. South Africa experienced the bitter taste of power outages, and it was followed by another round in January 2008. The problem seemed to subside for a few years, but in November 2014, Stage 3 load shedding was enforced, signaling a return on the crippling power cuts. The following years witnessed a seesaw battle with load shedding. This became a regular occurrence in 2015, while the company enjoyed a brief relief from it in 2016 and 2017. However, in June 2018, load shedding returned once again, and in 2019, the nation experienced the introduction of Stage 4 load shedding for the first time. The situation reached its peak in December 2019, when Stage 6 load shedding was implemented, sending shockwaves throughout the country. Load shedding continued to plunge South Africa in 2020 and 2021, and in June of the latter year, Stage 6 load shedding made its second ever appearance, cementing its unfortunate place as a regular occurrence. The root cause of load shedding can be traced back to the failure to build new power stations and replace aging generation plants in order to keep up with the country's economic growth. In the span of 30 years between 1991 and 2021, Eskom managed to only complete one power station, Majuba. The construction of Medupi and Kusile began in 2007 but have not been operational. What compounds the frustration for many South Africans is the fact that the government had repeatedly been warned about the impending electricity supply crisis. Instead of prioritizing the construction of new power stations and expanding the grid, Major projects like Medupe and Kosilia became easy targets for looting and corruption. The consequences of this negligence were extremely serious. South Africa now found itself without sufficient power generation capacity, resulting in heavy reliance on load shedding to manage the strain on the national grid. The impact of load shedding on the country's economy was profound, causing disruption, hindering productivity, and damping investor confidence. Moreover, it brought about significant inconvenience and frustration for the South African population. As the challenges persisted, Eskom and the government faced an uphill battle to fix the deep-rooted issues that plunged the energy sector. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, the South African government and Eskom are working together to end load shedding. Their strategy composes of a range of measures aimed to increase electricity generation, upgrade infrastructure, and diversify the energy mix. Central to the plan is the development of new power plants and the execution of renewable energy projects to reduce the reliance on coal-fired power stations and embrace cleaner and more suitable sources. To assist the process, the government is actively promoting private investments in the energy sector. Addressing the issues such as corruption and mismanagement, different task forces and committees have been created to investigate and fix these problems. To oversee this, President Ramaphosa appointed a Minister of Electricity who works closely with the Eskom board and management. Acknowledging the seriousness of the situation, international institutions have stepped in to provide assistance. In 2022, the World Bank approved a $1 billion loan to support Eskom in improving its operation. The African Bank has also pledged $1 billion to help South Africa address its energy crisis and many others. Eskom targets to improve the country's energy availability factor to 70% by March 2024. So we face a crucial decision on relying on Eskom and finding other options. The choice to rely on Eskom comes with its potential risks and uncertainties as the company struggles to meet the country's energy demands. So should we wait for March 2024? For those seeking a more reliable source of energy, generators are an option. They provide a backup solution during power outages and can power large appliances and devices, and some are portable. However, generators come with their own set of drawbacks. They can be costly to purchase and install, make noise when active, and contribute to air pollution. Alternatively, solar panels present an environmentally friendly and suitable solution. Harnessing the power of the sun, solar panels offer free and renewable energy for homes and businesses. By adopting solar power, individuals can lower their electricity bills in the long run. However, the initial investments for purchasing and installing solar panels can be expensive. How well they work depends on the amount of sunlight available in a specific area. Despite the high installation cost, solar panels proves to be a wise investment in the long term because in a short 7-year window they become virtually free with minimal maintenance cost. Each option has its own advantage and disadvantage, and the decision is ultimately up to you. Factors such as budget, energy needs, location, and environmental impacts should be carefully considered when weighing the options. Whether you rely on Eskom, invest on generators, or embrace solar panels, the goal remains the same: to secure a reliable and suitable source of energy. By making informed choices, you can not only ensure your own power supply, but you can also contribute to a more resilient and environmentally conscious future for South Africa.